Hey Joseph, this is Mrs. Skoglund. Just wanted to give you a little bit of feedback on your summer assignment. And we're mostly going to be talking through this first chapter since that was the question that you starred, but I'll kind of reference some other things as I go through the video as well. So to start off in a good body paragraph, which is what this format is, we want to see a strong topic sentence. And ideally, that would answer the question that was provided to you in a concise enough way that it answers it, but sort of also previews what's coming. And I thought, especially in this paragraph, you did a great job of doing just that. So you tell me what R-directed thinking is and what L-directed thinking is. Clearly, there's a difference, right? But you don't get too into the details. You kind of leave that for the rest of the paragraph. So I thought that was good. Next, I actually look at your last sentence in your paragraph because it should almost, the concluding sentence should almost reflect this topic sentence in referencing back to the question and sort of tying everything together. Again, Joseph, I thought you did a good job with that. The only reason I give you a 9.5 and not a 10 is just this concluding sentence. If you can get a little bit of the importance or significance of the topic, that would have made the end even stronger. So you tell me what these things literally are, but why is it important that there's a difference? I think that would have been a great way to end the paragraph. So that's definitely just a small revision you could make. Next, I look at evidence, and I thought that you did a nice job selecting your evidence. So you have one quote talking about the left hemisphere, another talking about the right hemisphere, which is nice because then you can develop the paragraph and sort of differentiate the pieces of evidence that you have. You also are doing a good job of what we call embedding or integrating your quotations. So up here you have a little introduction according to the author, blah, blah, blah. And then down here you have what's called a flow quote where the quote just blends right in with the rest of your writing. And so that's really great to see. And I especially like that you did, two different types of embedding. This one would be what we would call more of a dialogue quote, and this one is more of a flow quote. So I gave you a 10 on that section. I thought that was really, really good. Next, I looked at commentary. And what we want out of commentary is for obviously it to not just summarize the quote, but to actually provide some analysis as to why the quote supports the prompt or the question. I think, Joseph, you're definitely on the right track here in that you're not just summarizing, right? You're kind of telling me more about the quote. The only reason I marked it as an 8.5 and not a 9.5 or a 10 is I do think, especially in this paragraph, it got a little repetitive. You talk about not requiring inferencing, and then you mention inferencing again here. And I know you're trying to show a difference, but it just felt a little repetitive. The best commentary I saw also provided examples or significance. So maybe instead of just telling me literally what the right brain aptitudes are, because the quote kind of already did that, maybe show me an example of that. Or tell me why that's important in the world or whatever. So I just think there's some opportunities for you to develop that a little more. Lastly, I looked at your in-text citations and conventions. You did really well here again. I mean, I think there's some very minor things that I noticed going throughout, but nothing that I'm even going to comment on because you did a good job proofreading. Citations look great, so really well done there. And then I wanted to scroll down to one of your R-directed activities that I found interesting. You did a good job on those as well. I enjoyed reading this story one about the TED Talk that you watched. This sounded really interesting, and clearly the speaker had a clear story that sort of motivated this whole talk. So I thought it was really nice that you were able to draw that connection. So overall, good job, Joseph. Just wanted to provide some feedback.